Crazy day. Crazy day. First step is to make sure that we actually have YouTube going, which is going now. Now we're just waiting for Facebook to catch up. I'm on Facebook. And there's a lot to cover. I mean, Sunday Roundup, we had a lot of things happen last week. So last week, what did we have? We had key government shutdowns and budget deals. Interesting. Regulatory updates, cryptocurrency market trends, financial results and company performance, institutional investor activities, legal and judicial developments, international trade and tariff adjustments. What else do we have? Market volatility and economic factors, crypto security and scams. So those were each really, really, really big things. Why is this not showing as live? Facebook just doesn't want to play. I mean, if I can't get this right on Facebook, Facebook is not going to be a thing. Facebook could just go away. So, trying to see if it works. Just bear with me. We'll get to the rest of the news. But we've actually had a lot of stuff go on. So, I mean, we are live. Everybody on Facebook can actually see me. Let's leave them a message. Welcome. Have you invested in yourself today? There you go. Now, I ask that question every day just so everybody knows. I always ask, have you invested in yourself today? This week, we're asking another question. Another question is, have you considered what's happened over the past week, even the past few days? The reason why we do the Sunday Roundup is because there's so much news that happens throughout the week, the previous week, that we tend to forget about most of it, right? Obviously, everybody knows that we came out of the shutdown, but did we also know that we're not getting any October numbers? Did you get that? Did you get that Goldman Sachs says that we're short 50,000 jobs in the month of October? Now, those aren't government numbers, but those are the only numbers that we have. And the truth be told, this regime does not want jobs numbers to come out. And I can understand that. I really can. I don't agree with it, but I can understand why, right? But there was a lot of news. I mean, the shutdown was 43 days. The fourth quarter GDP could plunge. It really could. I mean, we have people that are reacting instead of acting. Remember, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. That's the GMB3, and that's what I practice every day. The CFTC acts alone to government shutdown to allow leveraged crypto trading on regulated exchanges. SEC has 20 days to review 21 shares XRP ETF application. U.S. Treasury and IRS introduce revenue procedures for beginning 2025 for the next year for crypto ETFs and staking. Brazil reclassifies stablecoins as foreign exchange under Resolution 521. That's a big deal. Why? Because what happens in other countries does affect here and vice versa. FDIC aims to launch tokenized deposit insurance and stablecoin oversight by the end of 2026. Again, these are not small things. These are not small things. And that stuff, when you stop and you think about it, that's kind of tiny, don't you think? Right? I mean, it is what it is. Right? From a cryptocurrency market trend perspective, Ethereum gas fees hit historic low of 0.067 Gwei. That right there. Everybody forgot about that. Everybody forgot about that. I can almost guarantee it. People are sitting there right now going, what? Like, yeah. So you can see how, Ethereum got better and people are still finding a way to complain. Well, the prices are too low and, they could go under because the prices are so low. You complain that the price is too high. They do something that then couldn't upgrade. And then all of a sudden, now people are crying, no, it's too cheap. They're not going to be able to stay in business. Are you kidding me? I firmly believe that Ethereum is going to see even more building on that blockchain than they have before. People just need to pay attention to it. But this is what I mean by think about this, 7 days. What's happened over the past 7 days that can affect you going forward for the next 7 days? Well, 7 days and beyond, right? We're no longer in the government shutdown. That's a big deal. Remember my risk register? I said that I have a list of risks and I have a list of opportunities. One such opportunity, I made another 10% on Aster. That's right. That's right. I went to bed last night, woke up this morning, and Aster was at 100, was at $1.26. Booyah. Right? And I'm going to tell you something else. I didn't get out at 126. I missed it. I got out at 121. And then after I got out at 121, it went up to 125 just a little while ago. Am I upset? No. Because I made money. I'm not upset about making money. I'm not even upset about missing out on other money I could have made. You know what I'm happy about? I'm happy I made money. And I just think that a lot of people out there should actually be sitting there saying to themselves, yeah, maybe I should be happy that I made money instead of losing money. A lot of people out there are losing money. You want to know why? Because they don't do their own research, because they don't know their entries and exits, and because they absolutely do not invest deliberately. The total opposite of the GMB3. Just saying. I have a lot of people on Facebook that have been asking me, what should we do next? And I don't mean to be rude. I'm not trying to be rude. But that's the kind of stuff that we talk about almost every day. Every day except Saturdays. I mean, I got to rest at some point, right? And Sunday's already taken. So, you know how that goes. So, but my idea is that, we have these discussions all the time, and it's not just one where you sit down and get a quick answer and then you act on that quick answer. I'm anti FOMO, right? Because I don't believe in fear of missing out. For me, I do my own research. I know my entries and exits, and I absolutely invest deliberately. I don't rush into jack. Even when I see my friends making money, I don't know what their risk framework is. They don't know what my risk framework is. So I go do my own research on what it is that they're doing and seeing, well, does that fit my risk framework? Or am I comfortable with the holdings that I already have? See what I mean? And I've had a lot of friends in the community tell me about things that are making money for them. Sometimes it's a hit. Sometimes it's not for me. So that's what I pay attention to. Is it a good thing for me? Right? Does it fit my risk framework? Otherwise known as your gut. It's a documented version of your gut. You want to know how your gut thinks? Every time you get a feeling and your gut says, don't do that, write down what your gut said not to do. Write down the situation that you were in, right? And analyze it. Do that for each time your gut says, nah. Because it's not your gut. It's your brain. It's your brain. Right? And I sit there and I just kind of go, If you write that down, that starts to become your risk framework. You start to understand how you think. It's your subconscious. Your gut is your subconscious. But you act on your gut. Like, my gut says, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Understand why. And you might be like, well, my gut says don't buy that ice cream cone. I would still tell you to write that down. Yes, it has nothing to do with investing. Nothing. But it has everything to do with how you think. See what I mean? At the cursory level, you don't see anything. But if you actually realize, whoa, yeah, I didn't do that because, maybe I didn't want that ice cream cone because I'm not, lactose intolerant, but I don't want to have that much of an intake of lactose to begin with. Or maybe I ate something and I think that adding that will make me feel bad. Your subconscious figured that out already and told you don't do it. Some people call it, the angel on the shoulder or something like that, or the devil on the shoulder. Document it, analyze it, use it to your advantage is what I'm saying. Use it to your advantage. A while ago, I wasn't even thinking about Aster. Was not putting a dime into Aster. Not even a pretty little penny that we're about to get rid of here in the United States. Yeah, wasn't even thinking about it. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just happened to look up and I went, that looks like a range. Aster had established a range. Now, if you were really lucky with Aster, you could have gotten in only a few days ago at $1.03, and you could have gotten out at $1.26. Yeah. Yeah, now you're sitting there kind of going, whoa, that's a big. I could have too. I made a conscious decision. I'm not putting more money in beyond my DCA, and Aster is not on my DCA roster. Aster's in my trading wallets. It's not in my hodling wallets. And my DCA strategy is specifically for my hodling wallets. When I put value into my trading wallets, okay, that's it. Until I decide to put more money into my trading wallets. That's it. And then so I've got to maneuver my trading wallets if I want to act on something. At that moment, I was making money on something else, was taking profit. I had profit sitting on the side and said, ooh, I'm going to do something with that. Saw that pattern on Aster and said, I'm going to get in. I'm going to get in. And I took the whole nut, boom, and got in all in one shot. Something I normally don't do. I normally do not buy all in one shot. I drizzle it in. Sprinkle, sprinkle, baby. Sprinkle, sprinkle. But something told me, my gut said, hey, on this one, you've actually done the research. You had nothing against Aster. You know who's backing Aster. You know what Aster is all about. Go all in. You'll be happy. So I went all in. And I just kept going like this. 8 Paws over on Facebook. Thank you for letting me know you invested in yourself. What's up? So yeah, you start to realize if you're doing your own research every day, you know your entries and exits, and you absolutely invest deliberately. That's the only way that I was able to invest in Aster. I had already done my research on it. Right? I already knew my entries and exits because I was able to identify that pattern. And then what? That gave me the confidence to be able to absolutely invest deliberately. That's why I keep my nose in the news. Never know when something else is going to pop up like that. Now, do I expect Aster to keep going up? No. Not at all. Do I expect it to come down? Yes. Do I expect to make more money on it? Possibly. But it's because I keep my nose in the news. I keep my nose in the news. And news isn't just what's being reported. News is also what the numbers are telling you. Pay attention. Pay attention. So then you have Bitcoin's demand pivot. What the heck? Spiked from 79,000 negative 79,085 BTC to a positive 581.9 BTC. That's a big turnaround. That's a big turnaround. Pay attention. Like I said, the numbers can tell a story. You just have to be open to listening to the story. Just saying. There are lots of things out there that we can do. Doing your own research, investing in yourself first. Yeah, why not? Why not? That's just one thing. That's just one thing. It doesn't take a lot to do it. It doesn't take a lot at all to do it. Try it. You might be happy. What other news do we have? Financial results and company performance. TeraWulf's Q3 2025 revenue jumped 87%. CoreWeave's Q3 revenue hit 1.36 billion, about 5.4 or 5.6% greater than what people had thought. Gemini $6.67. Let me try again in English. Gemini, they lost $6.67 per share, which far exceeded expectations. Yeah, shares are below $15 or were below $15. Here's what I'm going to tell you about Gemini, in case you forgot. NASDAQ invested a little bit in Gemini, $50 million. Now, for a $1 billion company, that's not a lot, but NASDAQ got something out of it. NASDAQ not only was able to kick in $50 million, but NASDAQ also has the deal where Gemini has to integrate NASDAQ's technology. That means that NASDAQ gained a customer. What else does it mean? Oh, it also means that NASDAQ has direct access to a crypto exchange. Not a stock platform, not a stock trading platform, but a stock market, because that's what NASDAQ is, has direct access to a crypto trading platform. Let that wash over you and let you think about where that can go. My man, Hutanik, thank you for letting us know that you invested in yourself. And that's a big deal. What other news did we hear that sets up infrastructure the same way that did? Oh, Visa is going to help banks, Stripe as well, to actually handle settlements and payments via what? Stable coins. Another infrastructure move that's going to have a big deal. I told you, all of the credit card companies have to figure out, how are we going to make money later on? Because this credit card business, yeah, that's going to be painful. What else happened in the credit card space this week? Oh yeah, that's right. They agreed that they were charging people too much. They were charging businesses too much money for interchange fees. Yeah, every step of the way, credit card companies are banging businesses for fees. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. That's what's happening. We personally experienced. That's right. Thank you for letting us know that you invested in yourself today. That's a big deal. You guys, I mean, some people might think that I'm insane, that I don't take that seriously. No, I take it dead seriously. We have to invest in order to survive. Unless you're one of these up here, the wealthy, we must invest in order to survive. That's not a question. It's not a question. At least not to me, not to my kids. It's not a question. It is absolute. And if you don't believe me, count how many of your friends have more than one job. Within your orbit, count the people that have more than one job. That's a clear sign. That's a clear sign that, we kind of need more money to survive. We kind of need more money to live the lives that we want to live. When you have SNAP benefits, what is it? 26% of SNAP benefits, the payments go to Walmart, and a high double-digit percentage of their employees receive SNAP benefits. What? Yeah. Yeah. Again, all this over the past week. Over the past week. Every week, I revisit my risk register. I revisit my opportunities list. They're both lists. I revisit both of them and I update them. Where are we at with this one? Where are we at with that one? Where are we, and so on and so forth. Insurance, regular insurance, healthcare insurance, separate. I look at that separately. The banking system, we'll get to that in a moment. It's going to drop your jaw. Housing prices. Okay. When you look at banking in 2008, that was one of the worst times ever, wasn't it? And the answer is yeah. And guess what? You want to know what was born from those times? The CFPB, Consumer Financial Protections Bureau, something like that. CFPB was born because of that crisis. And what is this regime trying to do? They are right now gutting that department. Legally, they can't shut it down, but you know what they can do? They can starve it from funding. Can't shut it down, but we don't have to give you money. Who thought of that? Yeah. So right now, that's what we're dealing with. That's literally what we're dealing with. Find that to be a problem? Maybe it hasn't hit you yet. Let me add to that. For all my people that are into numbers, time now is 422. Get it? 4 minus 2 equals 2. Anyway, yeah, I have a bunch of friends. We play the numbers games. The market took a masterful hit. And when I say masterful, I mean masterful. Because it was a masterful move by the haves to squeeze more out of the have-nots. And some of you might be sitting there thinking, what are you talking about? Well, do your own research. Go back to 2020. Go back to 2008. What happened in 2008? Everything crashed, right? CFPB was born, right? CFPB has been able to get back billions, not millions, billions with a B, back from predators. Predators like giving away loans that people shouldn't have had. All that stuff. And so when you look at this, you've got to sit there and you got to say to yourself, holy moly, so now we're about to get rid of the CFPB, consumer protection. I'm a consumer. Most of you are consumers. It was created to protect us. Yeah. So now what are we doing? We're literally moving back into the situation where it was the perfect storm for things to go wrong. Except you can see it happening in slow motion. Real estate, insurance. Oh, that's right. Real estate and insurance. Insurance went first, and then was real estate back in 2008. Go watch Too Big to Fail. Go watch The Big Short. Those are true things. Those are true things. People are looking at the moves of Michael Burry and going, ha ha ha, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, okay. He called it back in 2008. And things are not looking bright now. The United States currently has a government that does not want October numbers to come out because they know they're abysmal. What does that mean? Oh, we're moving back to where we were. We're able to give out predatory loans. They were able to steal money from customers. And I do mean steal money. Because there was nobody there to protect the customer. So what do I think is going to happen now? I think that a lot of people are going to be reviewing contracts a lot more, or at least they should. For me, frankly, I think, a piece of advice that, I gave my kids. First of all, daddy's going to read whatever contract you need to sign. Second of all, I'm absolutely going to use, artificial intelligence to help me review said contracts. And that's before I go to the attorney. Attorneys charge a lot of money per hour. I'm not trying to waste my time. I'm trying to get that right. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Stitch is going absolutely bonkers. My daughter's going to work and he's like losing it. See? He does not like when people leave the house. He's like, you're home. You're supposed to stay home. Especially the girls. My boys, he'll beef about, but my girls, oh, he does not like them going outside. Not at all. He's a big time protector. So yeah, when I look at everything that's going on and I see what's happening, I mean, literally, we're watching. You know what? I can't say that because it seems. No, it affects our bags. I can say it. So Switzerland just had tariffs drop from 39% to 15%. And the only thing that happened, they sent gifts and compliments to the White House. Go look it up. It's not me. But I want you to think about that. If you send gifts and compliments to the White House, you can have your tariffs dropped. Seems off to you, right? Forget about the political side. Forget about that. Push that to the side. Don't think about it. Think about the transaction. The transaction is, I want lower tariffs. I'm going to send you gifts and shower upon you compliment after compliment after compliment. My tariffs get lowered. What other decisions are going to be made in that kind of transaction? That is what I think about. That right there is what gets me. Like, huh? Yeah. That's not a political statement because we don't allow that stuff here. I'd have to cut myself off. But it directly affects our bags if that's how this regime is thinking. Not based on economic value or anything else. On a whim, because that's what that is, on a whim, I can raise or lower tariffs. That has not worked out for us. Down here, the have-nots. Makes you stop and think. Makes me stop and think. I don't know about other people, but it makes me stop and think. That's scary. That's absolutely scary to me. So yeah, I absolutely look at that and I wonder to myself, well, what else is going to happen? What else happened this week? I don't know. You had somebody like ARK Invest, Kathy Wood, go out there and buy $30 million worth of a stock after it took a hit. Yeah, circle. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. 30.5 million. Had to check my notes. BlackRock's BUIDL fund operates on Binance and BNB chain, expanding its institutional access. Bet you people missed that. This is why I tell you guys, I'm in the news every day. I'm doing my research every day. I suggest to you, you do it for at least 15 minutes a day. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe because it'll keep things fresh in your mind. I mean, think about it. I want you to take a minute, later on and go back over this video and look to see how much information I was able to give you without staring at my notes, reading my notes. My notes are right there. You guys know I take copious notes on just about everything. And it's because I recall certain things. The more impact on my bags, the more I'm going to recall it. So Goldman Sachs coming out with numbers that say we lost 50,000 jobs in the month of October, kind of going to stick in the head. ARK Invest doing timing correctly and buying $30.5 million worth of shares of Circle while the stock was down, kind of going to stick in my head. This is why I tell you guys to do that, because then you'll be able to start connecting the dots the way I do. Not the way I do, but you'll be able to start connecting the dots. And the more dots you connect, the more vivid the picture becomes. Some things are dots, other things are color. Together, they paint a very vivid picture. Very vivid. Now you know why I'm like that. What else happened? You have an idea that the Supreme Court is going to make a decision on the tariffs, whether or not they're going to say whether or not they're legal. They spent 2 hours for what was supposed to be 30 minutes. Asking some seriously hard questions. And it's not the questions they were asking that I was paying attention to. It was the tone at which they took when speaking and making statements that I paid attention to. Woof. Yeah, that's when you start taking a step back and you start going, oh my God, that's a lot of stuff. That's just 7 days. Let that sink in for a minute. I'm rattling off to you just what happened over the past 7 days. Now you see what I'm talking about. So imagine what you've forgotten that's happened 8 days ago, 9 days ago, 10 days ago. You have notes on it? I mean, you kind of do. I mean, on growmybag.tv, we've got, I want to say, approaching 12,000 articles and videos. I have my notes on top of that. Like, I've got my raw notes. I've got my refined notes. For every show that I do, I have a script and I have all of the notes to back up my comments. Yep. I do that twice a day. Think about that. Twice a day. 4 hours a day. Less than 4 hours. Maybe 2 hours. Because it's a process. Identify what's interesting to me. Curate the news. Read articles. Gather my opinions. Bang out an article about what I'm talking about. And then on the show, that's when I give you my opinion about said news. Yeah. You've got to be able to do that on your own. The best thing that my mother taught me, second best thing, she taught me how to dream. That's number one. The second best thing is she taught me how to learn. And it wasn't just a technique on how to study or something like that. It was the idea of being able to identify educational value and then take advantage of that opportunity. I'll say it again. You want to grow and hone your ability to identify educational value and then take advantage of that opportunity, because it is an opportunity. So many people don't do that. So many people don't do that. And there are opportunities that you want to pay attention to. You know what I mean? So yeah, take advantage. Don't make it hard on yourself. Make it easy on yourself by learning. Your first investment is you. Your first investment is you. Not a business, not stocks, bonds, options, crypto, real estate. It's none of that. The first investment is in you. And you've got to wake up and you've got to say, I want to learn. And then set out and go do it. That's what I'm saying to you every day when I say, have you invested in yourself today? Minimum 15 minutes a day. If you can freaking doom scroll, you can take 15 minutes to go do some research. You can go take 15 minutes and understand your entries and exits. And by growing that, you can actually take a step back and understand, oh yeah, let me go do what I'm supposed to do and absolutely invest deliberately. Your decision needs to be absolute and your actions need to be deliberate. That's why I say it like that. But if you go back and you replay this show, or maybe you're new, go back and look at my past shows. They all build across the week. They all have news across the week. And then on Sundays, we do the Sunday Roundup. During the week, we do a show in the morning, the Crypto Daily. At night, we do a show, the Crypto Overflow. And you really need to pay attention. Do something. Do something. Dubai's court extended global asset freeze for $456 million in true USD in the true USD bailout case. They froze almost $500 million in the true USD bailout case. Why is that a big deal? Because it involves Justin Sun. And I told you guys, I will not touch anything that guy has anything to do with. Because I believe that everything that he does is shady. Yep. That's when you start to go, oh, I wasn't paying attention to that. Exactly. What else did we have? Let's see what was good. Americans lose up to $9 billion yearly to crypto scams tied to Chinese criminal groups, North Korean criminal groups as well. $4.9 million lost by a Hyperliquid community. Wasn't Hyperliquid, it was PopCat. But PopCat is a part of the Hyperliquid community. So they took a small hit. PopCat took a big hit. Market volatility could trigger a recession in the 2026-2027 timeframe, as per BCA research. I haven't made up my mind on whether or not I agree with that, but I can absolutely say the math is mathing. I absolutely believe that looking at the math, looking at certain things, I can definitely see how you can come up with that story. It's not hard to get there from here. What's the number one impactful thing that I'm seeing right now that makes me lean toward believing in that? Oh, I don't know. Get rid of the CFPB. Get rid of the CFPB. Boom. That means banks will be able to do whatever they want, and there'll be nobody there to stop them. That ought to make you stop and go, oh, that right there. That's huge. We can come out with jobs not working out and us losing more jobs. Right now, because of the government shutdown, there are a number of people here on H-1B visas that have been unable to renew their visas. And TCS Consulting, as per a couple of weeks ago, I told you, they're not doing any new H-1B visas. At least that's what they said. Now you sit there and you're kind of going, oh, now I see. See how that adds up? That's why I said, if I look at everything, if I look at just what's on my risk register, I can absolutely see how that works out, how that could actually play out. And right now, I've got more things on the risk side than I do on the opportunity side. And those things that I have on the risk side are not small. None of them are small. One of them could cause that. Insurance costs, healthcare costs, job loss, for whatever reason. You want to call it AI and automation? Sure, call it AI and automation. Job loss. The offshoring of jobs. It's not that jobs don't exist, it's that they offshored the jobs. Sometimes nearshoring by giving jobs to people in Mexico or Canada. A lot of those jobs went to India. That's what had happened was. And you start to realize, wow, that's not what we wanted to happen. You're talking hundreds of thousands of jobs that are overseas right now, that could have been here, that are not. Yeah. So not only do you have to contemplate the reduction in jobs, but you have to try to understand, did those jobs go away, like those jobs just don't exist anymore, or did they move? Some people are going, who cares if they move? That doesn't matter. It does matter. Because if they moved, those are the people that are getting experience. Those are the people that are getting the knowledge. And what's happening here? We've got college grads that still have yet to find jobs. Now you see where I'm going. Now it starts to hit you. Oh, it's bigger than just the job loss. Yeah. That problem with college kids not finding jobs, that's not new. That's not a new phenomenon. That idea of college kids staying at home with mom and dad after graduating college, that's not a new phenomenon. It's just getting worse now. Remember when I told you that I don't believe that AI and automation are going to take jobs away anytime soon? They're not. What are they doing? What are those technologies doing? They're taking tasks away. Those tasks that used to be done by who? That's right, college grads. That's how they cut their teeth. That's how they got that on-the-job training. Businesses right now are actually saying, yeah, no, we're not going to do on-the-job training, and we're just going to give that over to automation and AI, and we're going to save money, and then our bottom line will get bigger. Not realizing that, well, you know, the more people that don't have jobs, the more people that can't afford your products and services, how good of that? How good is that for you? Maybe you don't feel it right now. Maybe you're not paying attention to it right now. But it's going to hit you when your sales numbers go down. This business went out of business. That business went out of business. Those businesses used to buy from you. Oh, you know, we have so many businesses, one or two businesses going out. It's not going to be one or two businesses. It's not going to be one or two people. Ask Target. Ask Target. Target was the victim, or rightfully so or not rightfully so, depending on how you feel about it, of a boycott. And that boycott lasted, and that boycott continues. That's the boycott side. That's not including the, oh man, yeah, we can't afford it anymore side. What did I just say a little earlier about Walmart? A lot of Walmart employees require SNAP benefits to make ends meet. That ought to hit you hard. And then when you do the Sunday Roundup, you should be taking all of that information and going, oh man, I better start catching up. I better start paying attention to what's out there, because literally, I believe our survival is going to depend on how much we invest. I know it's tough. I know it's tough to think about, but yeah, I think that's a thing. I absolutely think that's a thing. And it's something that we are going to have to worry about. Just think about all that news I just gave you. And guess what? Over 100 articles later, you know that wasn't even all of the news. I can't sit here and go through every single article that we've discussed over the past 7 days. I can't do that. I'm good. I'm not that good. Plus, I still have to finish moving my furniture inside the house, you know, the deck furniture. There's just not enough time. So the strong suggestion is, hey, look, listen, you got time. Watch the show whenever you have a chance. Just pop the show on. I'm not here to shill coins or anything else like that. This community is not about that. I mean, yeah, I'll shill my books. I might even shill our community, but I'm not trying to shill coins to you. I might tell you about how I made a move on a coin, positive and negative. Positive and negative. Just right now, it's positive. I'm doing all right with Aster. And then sooner or later, that's going to come to an end. There's no guarantee that Aster is going to come down again, but I'll be able to get in again and ride it to another win. I was at 49.5% before, and then I have to do the math and tackle on another 10%. This is what I mean. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes. Tell your friends about this community, because it really is a community. It really, really is. And if you can, become a member. Membership has its benefits. And we've got a lot of stuff going on where you're going to want to take advantage of it. I mean, heck, how much stuff am I giving away for free already that you probably want to take advantage of? Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. As always, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And absolutely, thank you for your trust. I'll fight for that every day. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. for the Crypto Daily. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.